Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mr. Pygmy and the Manhater podcast. I am your host, Regan, aka the Manhater, even though I don't hate men. And
I am your other host, Chesko. Did
was
you
that
hear
supposed
that?
to make noise?
Can you not hear it?
I
Is it
can't hear it.
canceling?
I heard something.
Is it not working? This was supposed to be good. I was supposed to be I wasn't even trying to mess it up. I thought it'd be funny. Wait, let me. Can you not hear it?
No, Chesko's having a
No,
malfunction.
this is loud.
There you go.
Okay, I'm Chesko. I'm a little air horn.
Was it worth it? Was it worth it? All of this.
Mr. Mr. Pygmy, who's already been picked 15 years this past week.
Yay! Your face as you press the little blowhorn and no sound comes out. You're like,
It's gonna be so. I thought it was gonna be actually a fun. Now I know I have to literally lay it on the
mic.
microphone. Let's
Chesko.
try it again. It's Chesko, also known as Mr. Pick Me of the Mr. Pygmy and the Man-Hater Show. Even though I've already been picked, welcome to our radio hour of
No!
television.
It's barely there. It's like a light dusting of air horn. That's great, Chesko. You've added so much to our
I
lives.
thought, man, I want to get a soundboard for our show.
No! Oh my
I'm-
God, you would be obnoxious. Every
If
2
anybody
seconds, you get
knows-
wah, wah.
where I can purchase one that will
No,
actually make sounds,
no one
please
tell
let me
him.
know.
No one
I
tell
don't
him.
care the cost. I'm going to invest in this, and we're going to have that going forward.
Please don't. Please don't. You think after that went so well, we should add more buttons?
Well, that's the problem. I'm doing this unprofessionally. I have to be a professional troublemaker. I have to
No.
have my rambunctiousness put into technology terms.
Good God, Jessica, what
For
are we?
someone, wait, we're gonna say I am really good with technology, but also completely the worst person on earth with technology. I don't know how those two can live inside of me, but they managed to do it.
There's 2 wolves inside of you.
There's two wolves inside of me. One understands the web of technologicalness. The other wants to live in the woods and feed like the ancient brethren of wolves before.
The web of technologicalness.
You heard me. That's correct.
That's correct.
I stand by it. It's the name of my new book.
What are we talking about today?
The 10 least attractive hobbies of women according to men. Theme song.
You want bad advice, man? I'll give it out gladly. I got some good advice for you. No, you don't. Like, no, you don't. I got some good advice for you. No, you don't. Like, no, you don't. Shit.
So I thought for today's episode, we would go through this list from 10 to 1 and unpack a little bit about where this comes from. And to be clear, this is not us saying, ladies, this is what you need to stop doing to get a man. This is us more so going through, I think, the psychology of why this would be on, why this list exists. Because I think these lists exist no matter what. We've talked about the one for least attractive male hobbies according to women before.
Oh, one of them was porn.
Yeah, one of them. Spoiler: porn is not. Well, we'll get to that. Number 10, first, is the least attractive hobby according to men for women is video games.
Are you joking me?
What?
What?
That doesn't make any sense to me.
When I found out my wife would play video games with me, I was literally like, ah.
Oh, it was the best thing in the world. The fact that my wife
Yes.
and I could play video games together. One of the first things we bonded over was I was playing World of Warcraft and she made a Final Fantasy reference. I was like,
Oh, we're getting married today.
the guys I was playing World of Warcraft with, they were yelled out on the thing. They're like, "You marry her, Chesko. Marry her now."
She's gonna get away.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
what with all the shit they talk about, like people judging their video
Mhm.
game hobbies and how much time they should get devoted to them. You don't want them to play with you?
It makes me question the validity of this list. The only way I could see it being like if like they're worried that if she was better at them than
Yeah.
them, that it might be like they don't know if they could handle their partner being better at
I
video games than them.
also think it's an excuse for some men who want alone time and want to
Mm,
not have to do like, other tasks around the house, like watching the
right.
children or cleaning or whatever.
Video games are my thing.
Well, yeah, well, they'll be like, I have to go play video games. And if your partner then is in on that, what's your excuse?
Right.
And would you then let her go play video games for hours?
Mhm.
I doubt. Not the ones I'm
certainly
talking
not.
about. Chesko is gonna yawn. I thought you were gonna sneeze. That's much more insulting.
Big yawn. I'm sorry. All right. We were going to talk about this on here. My daughter kept us up for most of the night, and so
Them, not us
no,
collectively.
yeah. My daughter kept Regan up in another state all
We
night long.
FaceTimed.
We FaceTimed. I was like 2 a.m. I was like, "Can you believe this shit?"
You better not. If I'm sleeping, you
Yeah.
better leave me be.
No, that's. Anyways, so my daughter kept me up, and I actually we're not gonna see the pay show for the pay show.
What did you say?
See the pre-show on the Patreon.
Say the
I
pay
have
show.
been slurring my words so badly during the pre-show. I think it's because my brain I'm just, like I said, I'm tired. So I apologize. I'm going to over-enunciate. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, baby.
Just goes back, baby.
Just goes back, baby. And I'm out. No, wait, I'm here. All right, so
Oh, God.
video games. But you're right. I think I could see that being like, no, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my way to go be away from you because
My
I don't
escape.
like women. It's where I get to talk to the guys I'm actually attracted to.
Well, and speaking of like last week's episode of not wanting to hear how men behave, have you heard Men on Live? Oh my God. Like there's I can't remember her name, which is bad, but there's a gamer online, a woman who games, and she records the gaming sessions,
Oh, it's
and
horrific.
men say the most atrocious, and also she destroys them, which is amazing. They just get destroyed, and she's like, so about that. But I think there's some of that too. Like if you're on live, you would not want your partner to be present or there because God only knows what you're saying.
What they're saying. Well, that was a chapter in my master's thesis, was about the language that the separation that a lot of these guys.
Oh, the World of
think that
Warcraft one you did?
yeah. That they'll be like, well, that wasn't me. That was my character. It's like, no, Donald, that was you.
That was
friend.
you 2 seconds ago.
All right, Sean, that was you saying the N-word about a boss as a little white boy in the Midwest.
He takes his headphones off. He's like, and I'm transformed.
I'm transformed back to normal. God,
And it's
who
also
was
like,
that?
no, wait, in World of Warcraft, that's the language they use? I
is
don't think so.
Horrific. It was
No,
a lot
but
of-
I'm
it
saying like,
Yeah,
it's
I know,
not,
I
you're
know.
like a warlock.
It's MMORPG. You're not role playing apparently he's role playing a Nazi.
Racist.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I don't think that warlock is racist. Like,
No.
if they were
Inherently.
racist, it'd be to
Is that
another,
part of the lore? Fact check us if we're wrong.
like,
I've heard
like,
that druids are horrible racists. Don't get me started on bards.
oh God, I don't know enough to make jokes, so I'm gonna
Sorry.
let you take this one, sir.
Well, orc warlocks are
I only know orcs from Lord of the Rings, and I did not like them.
yeah, orc shamans are actually very caring and kind though. So it's
Not
a weird
well, then they must not be related to the ones I saw because they were very mean little
They have
tortured
totems.
elves.
They have totems that they heal
What?
with, and they cause anyways. Next up,
Don't get Chesko started,
I
please.
think that's on this we have number 9, true crime.
They think they're gonna kill them. 100%. They're like, this woman's gonna kill me.
She's finding out really good ideas.
I know so many people who are into true crime that could probably get away sufficiently with murder.
Yeah, I do think isn't that the stereotype that like 90% of the audience of online crime documentaries are women?
Yeah. A lot of white women, I think.
A lot of what, yeah.
No, I think, yeah, a lot of women. I like some. I like the psychology of true crime, certainly. But like, yeah, men don't, because there's so many videos online of like me doing chores, and then the husband's like, oh, she's so cute. And then it cuts to what you're listening to. It's like, her arms were cut off, her legs were cut off. And you're like, I mean, I have been literally hyperfixating on the Titan submersible and the details about carbon fiber. And I have been listening to some horrifying things myself. So it's like, yeah, I don't think they want women who know how to dispose of a body.
Yeah, I do think it's also part of like, if you've never experienced trauma, like deep trauma or something, you can't understand why it's part of like processing it is like kind
Mm-hmm.
of going through and listening to other stuff and
Yeah.
talking about it and even laughing about it,
Yeah.
right? And I've shared the story about my two best friends and I, where the Four Loco party, where we were like laughing harder than we've ever laughed, having a contest with the worst dad, and the people in the other room were horrified, right? But for us, like, as
Yeah.
someone that's lived that, and I think the sad reality of the state of the world is,
Yeah.
if you are a woman in society, you've dealt with some sort of stalking, you've probably dealt with some sort of like situation that begins like a lot of these true crime documentaries do. And so a way of processing, a way of like not like losing it, like is by laughing at it, is by having conversations about it, is by listening and by learning from it. So the warning, like that the reality is men are like, well, I don't have to worry about that.
Well, and there's also like, of course, any gender can do a crime. I think
Right.
a lot of violent crimes are at the hands of men, and a lot of times the victims are women. But,
I think
who
87% was the stat last time I looked up of all violent crime is done by men.
it's rough.
Yeah.
But, a lot of you then have to question, well, who do you identify with? Like, do you identify with the victim? Do you learn from the story? Or if you identify with the men, does it make you uncomfortable to hear that? I think there is a big difference between like the experience identifying with the victim and the experience identifying with the perpetrator. Because like,
Mhm.
I'll give you a weird example. The
Please
Titan
do.
submersible. So I have been watching a lot of podcasts and just listening to testimony. It's too much. Reading articles,
Yeah.
everything's when I fixate, it's
Yeah.
bad. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make another video on it. Anyways, but that is not appropriate for the Titan submersible. That is not an appropriate time. This is why you cannot have a board. I'm going to be telling you a traumatic story and you're like, brr, 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 brr.
It'd be like the game show. Boom, 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 boom.
Exactly. No. Back to the Titan.
Yes.
And this, for those of you who don't know, Stockton Rush, who is the head of Ocean Gate, he was on the Titan submersible. He went down with it. He was amongst the 5 people who they were searching for. He died there. He did atrocious things that, in my mind, led to these deaths, like just beyond neglect. Anyways, point being, there was a guy who was listening to, he was a podcast host. He had listened to both documentaries or watched both documentaries and had read certain things and listened to testimony. And he was like, yeah, well, Stockton Rush, you have to admit he was a pretty accomplished guy. You have to admit he's a pretty intelligent guy. I'm like, no, you don't.
You don't have to admit shit.
You have to admit shit. He was an elitist son of a bitch who
Well, he was a billionaire. That's always
Yeah.
like, you don't make that money. No, the way you make that kind of money is by being a horrific person.
exploitation of the
Yeah.
working class.
Mhm.
And it was like the dude got like horrible grades all through school. Like there is actually very limited evidence that he was intelligent, particularly in the field that he was working in. Like anyone else in his field was like, no. Someone even said, one of his engineers said he allegedly got his degree. He knew so little. He said that he didn't have a basic understanding of scientific concepts. But point being, like, he heard all of this and he identified and almost like out of reverence made a comment like, well, we can admit he's a pretty inspiring dude, basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, did we listen to the same story? What? But that's, I do think that some men listen to these stories and like identify.
And they're like, man, that guy was really good at picking at women.
He was onto something.
This is a Jeffrey Dahmer podcast, man.
He did not pick up women, so wrong guy.
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah,
He picked up
I
men.
as you can to be fair, I just gave a little insight into the fact that I do not watch any true crime. I get really personally uncomfortable about like those kind of like any like serial killer stuff. I can listen to true crime stuff, that's fine, but when it comes to serial killer stuff, for it like it messes with me like when I hear about those kind of things.
There's also ethical issues. I think there's a lot of ethical issues in the ways people do true crime. Sometimes they don't even research, they don't get permissions. They talk about things in ways that I don't think are particularly respectful. They make money off of crimes. Like there are some legitimate criticisms and concerns about true crime as a whole. I wholeheartedly hear these concerns and complaints from people. But I do think men are scared of women who listen to true crime and their abilities to kill someone, hide them.
She says a notepad out while listening to this.
Like poisons. She's like, oh, okay. Antifreeze, you say. Sweet. Got it.
Watching Breaking Bad, but like, that's true, you know. That's how you dispose of a body.
Done it twice.
All right. Next up, because I want to make sure we can get through all 10 of these, is reality TV.
Oh, they always say that. They always say that. They always have a problem with it. Like,
do you watch reality TV?
My wife watches reality TV. I will watch it if there's something intellectual I like about it. Like if I can do commentary on it, then I am interested. Certainly. It's not my cup of tea per se. I like competition. So like if there's something I'm like, ooh, that's interesting.
Does cooking shows count as reality TV?
I guess they do. I do like cooking shows. But I think it's interesting when men just hate on those immediately as if like they're, you know, the things they like to watch. Like, I mean, they watch like games. Like what is that if not competitions? Right. Like that people are filming.
Honestly, you're right. Like what is like a football game? It's a different type of reality TV, but it's not the way I deemed it to be worthy.
But it's also it's associated, I think, with like feminine women, which men tend to hate just because they are associated with them. Like there used to be more reality TV that was aimed at men, like back in Spike TV days. You remember that? There was like, oh God, there was a lot of weird stuff that went on. But there was, I think then men would act like they liked those shows with like the man show. But there's a lot of reality style shows that were more aimed towards men that I think men enjoyed, and now that there's less.
Because I think when they say reality shows, they're referring to a very specific type of reality,
like
show
Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is, and so
I don't either.
But is that like well, I was thinking like the Real Housewives shows, or
one of the Housewives is on that. Is on Vanderpump.
Okay. What is is it basically
Lisa Vanderpump was on one of the I now I'm gonna get in trouble because I don't know well enough, but and then it was all these like hot young 20-year-olds who work at her bar but kind of don't actually work at her bar, but there's all this drama. Tom Sandoval, do you remember that drama? What? Oh.
I'm also, you know me, and our audience knows is that I'm horrible with names also. So you could be like, it could be somebody, you could be referring to a drama I was a part of. You'd be like, Tom Sandoval. I don't know. Your brother?
Your brother? That's what I was going to say.
Oh, that Tom.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant a different one. He cheated on his long-term girlfriend with a much younger best friend that they were all best friends with. And got busted for it. It was a whole, it like went across. I talked about it because I think he's a narcissist, but anyways, yes, that's the more stereotypical kinds. There's Love Island, which is a whole other thing.
Love at First Sight.
Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight, that's what it is. Yeah. What's the other one where they can't see each other? Is that the Married at First Sight, or is
that's Married at First Sight?
Isn't there a dating one that's like that too, or is it all married? I don't know. This is showing I'm actually really bad because from my personal standpoint, these last two have been like, I have no interest. That's one. Yeah. Oh no, I'm turning into it.
I'm that guy. Oh. Well, again, I think they've just decided there's no value to it because I think it is associated with women. I think men liked the Tila Tequila show when that came out. They were a lot more interested in that. But it just has to.
I don't know what that is either. Is that a person?
Tila Tequila, who is actually a terrible person. She did a shot at love where she
Mhm.
came out as bi and she dated men and women.
Mhm.
And it was one of the first shows that was showcased more like a
Oh,
queer.
was it like like the Flavor Flav related
Yes,
to that kind of
it wasn't
deal?
related to it, but it was the
Like in
same
that same
vibe.
era?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I don't, what's funny is the reason I don't know a lot of them is because I've been interested in watching a lot of these. My wife has zero interest in reality TV at all.
Yeah.
I've been like, you want to watch this? She's like, no. And
It's
so, yeah,
it's a good people study. That's what I
yeah.
think is interesting. But
I think that's what it is. Like why I think I would be interested because I love
hmm
people watching. I'm like,
hmm
oh, how are people peopling? Oh, that's how you're supposed to talk to other humans? Okay.
write
Let
it
me write this
down.
down in my because I used to love the real world
Oh yeah.
and like Road Rules
hmm
and those the original I guess reality shows. And so like I think I would have transitioned into them if I had been in a relationship with the other person was into it, but I wasn't like so strongly fanatical about it that I needed to. I was like, no, you will watch this with me.
Watch
We are
it.
watching. It is Tuesday. We are watching Survivor at the first, and then we go on to this other show next, and
Uh-huh.
then. Although I think Survivor would probably be an acceptable male reality show. I
Yes,
think there
I
are
think
certain
so
ones
too.
that do, yeah, yeah.
God.
So reality shows. That was number 8. Anything further?
No. Let's keep going.
Number 7 is shopping.
Did a misogynist write this list? What's the most cliche women hobbies? Aside from video games, that throws it
Mhm.
a little bit. But shopping, huh?
I hate shopping so much. Like it's not like my wife laughs because I do the this is I'm finding I'm much more of a stereotype right now than I realize it. But she laughs because like when I go shopping, I know what I want and I will walk in, I will purchase the item, and I will be out of the store within 5 minutes, if that. And she was like, "What if you see other stuff you want?" And she's like, or like when I go shopping with her and the kids, they'll pick. My son's very similar to me,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll pick something,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll be like, "Okay, well let's keep looking to see if there's something." I'm like. And I'll be like, and
Why?
I'm zipping my lip. And I'm like, but he picked the item. He chose
And
the
now
item he
we
wanted.
go.
Yeah. And so since he is a very similar, and this might be more of an autistic thing than because my son's also autistic, where we are with this is the purpose of this trip was to buy the item that we decided to buy versus my wife and my daughter will go and just be there
Peruse.
joyously, not buying a single thing. They will be there for an hour and walk out with a Diet Coke.
That's the dream. You
And
just walk around, you check stuff out, you enjoy the activity.
it's too. I don't like that. It's a sense. Every store has these freaking horrible overhead lights.
That's
This is now.
true.
I am realizing now this is definitely an autistic thing and not a man thing for me. It's horrible lights.
Yep.
There's people all over the place. Like most stores, at least like I go to are crowded. Right. It's a sensory nightmare.
Yeah, it is truly.
So I cannot stand it. And then and even if you go to a small store, then the person there wants to talk to you and help you. This is a solitary experience.
I don't want to be sold to, that's for
Yeah.
sure. But I will talk to them. But I just on the inside, I'm like,
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I feel like this comes from men and their idea,
Mhm.
misogynistic men in particular, that like women they're gonna spend all my money shopping. They're gonna take all my money and that's all they want. And it's like,
Right.
what money?
Right.
What gold? What are they digging
Yeah.
for?
Show me your.
Where's your credentials?
Yeah.
Do you have the credentials to be in this conversation? Because like most of the time it's not the men with money that are freaking out
Mhm.
about the gold diggers, but like I think that's what they're afraid of. It's like, oh, she's gonna take my credit card and go spend it. It's
Mhm.
like, what if she spends her own money? Like if
Right.
she's spending her own money, do you care?
Right.
And
No,
why?
it's a very this was one concept that took me a long time to understand about the whole money thing because my wife and I have always just had a joint account since we got married, and it's never and I just don't question. I just assume that if she spent something, it was for a
Right.
purpose because I respect her. And it's not, I'm never like, what is this? Why did you spend this?
Diet
This,
Coke.
yeah, what is this $2.19? But like, I just accept it, right? It's not that big of a deal. But in part because of the fact that I always knew that I was going into a profession where I was going to make more money, and the stuff that she has been interested in doing was never going to be a money man. She liked working with young children. She liked
Right.
doing art. She liked doing theater. Like those are not like, unless you make it, and like the top like 0.01%.
Yeah.
And so we made a conscious decision early on that it was just better to like look at our finances as fully 100% our finances,
Right.
and like so that there's no drama that comes in, like, well, do you need me to loan you money? Do you need, like,
Yeah,
that's just
right.
weird to us. But it took me a while to understand why so many people do separate finances, and I think a lot of times has to do with because they don't want this financial manipulation and the that goes into it from their partner.
And I mean, if someone's abusing finances, like
Right.
shopping in a crazy way, that's not what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
No.
But it's also like if you look at shopping as, the hobby where you're buying stuff, like
Hmm.
so many of men's hobbies are very expensive,
Hmm.
very time consuming, very dependent on buying more and more of the thing. Like
Right.
collecting is a lot of money.
Hmm.
Uh, like building onto something. If you're with cars, you're getting tools, you're buying new things, I feel like you're always collect like there's so many hobbies of men
Hmm.
that have the same process of shopping. It's just
They
more
don't look at it as
there's
shopping.
a purpose to it. Yeah. Then it's collecting if they do it. It's
Hmm.
collecting if you do it. It's shopping if I do it. Like
Hmm.
that's the part that I'm like,
Speaking
okay.
of which,
Okay.
can I go to side note real quick?
When don't you?
This is related though. I cannot express how much of my mental energy goes into stopping myself from collecting Pokemon cards. Because I love Pokemon.
What?
Like this is shop, but like I want to get it. I know how expensive it is though. Because of all these freaking scalpers that have like got that do all the shit where they are buying all this stuff and reselling it and everything.
Mhm.
But man, I want to so bad. I don't know how to do hobbies like gently either. I don't know how to just like, oh, I'm
Dip
gonna
your toe.
buy a pack here or there.
Right.
I know it's going to be a third career. So I started looking for like what's a cheaper collection that I can do, that they're all expensive. There's no
Truly.
such thing as like collecting cheap things.
It's called hoarding.
It's a, yeah, I guess that's well, the one thing I did, because I collected cards as a teenager, and I had all the Marvel cards, and I was like, oh, these are, I think I've talked about this before. I thought they were going to be worth so much money, and apparently they're worth exactly what I paid for them in the 90s.
I saw a video I thought you would like. There was this
Mhm.
I guess the two, I think they were her either her sons or her grandsons, and then it was an elderly grandma, and then the sons both had, I think they had autism, but they
Mhm.
were saying how she sends them like these, they're in her house and they're like, yeah, she sent me another video about how it's caused by vaccines or what, just like crazy videos.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, okay. Oh, did you notice this beautiful Princess Diana plate set? And then shows like this huge collection of plates. She goes, and this is her small things cabinet. It's a ton of small things, but don't
Mhm.
touch them and don't look at them. And then they go through the house, and there's clearly all these little like
Mhm.
hyperfixation collections. It was so fucking funny because they were
Yeah.
like, it doesn't exist. But did you see
But also, did you
this?
see all of these? Yeah.
These are the beautiful plates. You can't touch them and you can't use
Mhm.
them, and you actually can't open this door. Don't touch them. They're for looking only. And
Only, yes.
she had like 20 different little wooden shelving units of these
Mhm.
tiny little figurines that she really loved.
It's so funny, like like finding learning more about autism, and then finally me tracing it back to my family. Like my grandmother, the first time she met my wife, it was like when she'd accepted her as like her possible future granddaughter. She like pulled a pocket out of her or a rock out of her pocket, and she was like, "This is one of my favorites," and this is a dike. And and my wife was like, she had no idea what was happening, but she was like, "Oh, she
Your
still
wife
has
would be
it."
like, okay.
Yeah, and she was like, "Thank you so much." But my
Hmm.
grandmother like would just spend countless hours looking for fun rocks, and I
I
would go
feel
with her,
that.
and it's so, rocks are awesome.
Rocks are
Uh,
amazing.
but anyways, but like that's I was like, but yeah, autism didn't run in my family at all. My uncle would spent probably tens of thousands of dollars building trains and model trains, and they bought a house literally 10 feet away from a train track. And his entire life has been about trains, and his son ended up becoming an engineer of a train. But no, I mean, it's weird that nobody else in my family could possibly. I'm the first, my kids were the first to be diagnosed. It's
That's
weird.
crazy.
It just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Must be
where I don't know.
must be
Living by a train
processed foods.
is wild. Yeah, exactly. Choosing to live by a loud train, that's a wild.
Quite literally, the track is 10 feet. I'm not joking. There's the road in between the house and the track is right next to it. Where yeah, we used to go as kids. We used to go out there and put coins on the tracks and
You have to
flatten.
love trains so much to do that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, what's the next one?
Anywho, next one is
Trains.
yeah. Man, men hate when women love trains. This I don't know if this is a hobby, but this is what's count cosmetic procedures. But I guess it could be.
What?
I don't even know.
That
Is it
I don't believe that. Who made this is a list by one man. I
Right.
don't because men what? I mean,
Uh-huh.
I think men I'm just going off of the commentary I see, but
Mhm.
I think a lot of men comment on like
Mhm.
excessive plastic surgery, but like from what I've seen, a lot of men do enjoy
Mhm.
fake chests and
Mhm.
women not aging.
I was thinking, they're talking about like Botox and stuff like that too.
I
You think?
guess. I don't know. But I
I would
feel
think it
like
would be
men
like,
like that.
well,
So
it's the same thing about guys that complain about like women wearing makeup and being like,
yes.
oh, or like you'll see one of those like before and after makeup tutorials, and there'll be guys
Yes.
stitching it like, see, you talk about
Catfish.
what is this? What you think? Yeah, what is this catfishing
Take her to the
bullshit?
pool. First date at the pool. I hate that shit. But it's
Yeah.
so true. But then when you show them a photo, they're like, "This is what I want," and you're like, "This is not. This is a no makeup look. This
Mm-hmm.
woman has done an hour worth of makeup."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When women have no makeup, those same guys are like, "Oh God, yikes! Do you even
Right.
try?"
Right.
Like,
There was
oh,
one specifically where she purposely made herself like her face look kind of like odd like before, and then
oh, they
she
all do.
and the point was though, it was like after in the comments though, there were a couple guys who were like because there were most of the comments were like, "See," the whole bullshit like, see, this is why blah 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 blah, blah, women are terrible blah blah blah. And so there were actually some rational guys in the audience who were like, guys, she was pretty beforehand. Like,
I have a loathing of those videos
uh-huh.
where very attractive women like just like societally speaking, I guess you could
Right.
say.
Right.
Well, it happens in different cultures too, so the whatever like
Hmm.
culturally attractive whatever
Hmm.
will make themselves look what they perceive as unattractive. They'll, pull their chins in so they have
Hmm.
more of a like
Oh
a,
my
a
God. Yeah.
double chin or whatever they think, or they'll like draw in acne
Hmm.
and they'll draw in wrinkles and they'll give themselves a unibrow. And I'm just like,
Right.
will you knock it off? I'm like,
Yeah.
you're a beautiful person. You have amazing makeup skills. Why do you have
Hmm.
to why do you have to do that? Like, because
Yeah.
then it associates those things as this is what ugly is. This is what you're
Hmm.
trying to get away from. And it's like, can you just
Hmm.
be beautiful in your own right? Why do you have to like put somebody down? I can't obviously
Yeah.
this is a personal grievance. But
No, but
it's
there's
ew.
like the same thing that really bugs, like it's always got under my skin is where it'll be someone that is like genuinely a fitness like
Mhm.
influencer that will then sit down and show that their skin folds and they'll be like, see, I also look terrible when I said this is also what it looks like. I get it. I get what you're going through.
There's
But
some
this is what
skin. I have
yeah, I'm like,
skin too.
yeah, and I'm like that's I was like, that's just that's not what it feels like when I sit down. Like
Well,
that is not what I'm seeing.
there was this one, I can't remember. Well, why would I remember his name? I'm not
Yeah.
a fan, but he was a fitness influencer who purposefully put on like something crazy, like 50, 60 pounds, quick, like
Hmm.
rapid fire, and then rapid fire, lost it.
Hmm.
I was like, see, anybody can do it. It's like, you
Hmm.
threw on weight that you got
Right.
by that your body was not like supposed to have, not meant to have, and wouldn't
Hmm.
normally have. Like your body doesn't stay at that weight. and then lost it and want to act like anybody for
Look
any
how easy
reason.
this was for me.
Yes, that was his whole thing. And then, so oh God, he did that. So he did it like explaining the full story, right? But then he started doing it like motivational. Like he'd show himself heavy and like on TikTok, it would have like emotional piano underneath. And people were like, oh my God, good for you, guy. Like you did it. And not even acknowledging that he had done it just for his own business.
Yeah, he's purposely did it.
Yeah. And he's a trainer. And I was like, oh, that's gross. Yucky.
I was gonna say on the other side, I think the thing that annoys me though, people that have never been of size, I don't know what word we want to use for it. Like I'll call myself, I've been fat for most of my life, right?
I don't think fat's a bad word unless you're meaning it to be a bad word.
Right. And but I have been what would be commonly referred to as fat. In the
commonly referred to
in the peasant's tongue would refer to that way. But then there was a 10-year gap in my life where I was the most fit I'd ever been, where I'd lost a lot of weight. I was going to the gym literally 12 times a week.
You weren't eating, weren't you passing out?
Yeah, I was not healthy, right? But I was not like but I was like thin, right? And my people treated me different. Like it was the best I've ever been treated. Like I got people going shopping, people treated me nicer. Even going to a restaurant, the servers were nicer to me. People even interpersonally were nice, would do you favors that wouldn't normally. And it's not even like, I don't think consciously people are doing it. It's just something that happens. And so I get mad when someone that is bigger loses weight and people get mad at them for losing weight. It's like, you don't understand if you've never been bigger, you don't understand the pressure that goes into, and I'm saying this as a man, I can't even fathom what it's like being a bigger woman,
right?
And all that goes into that. Because I already know how horrible or how much different my life was when I lost that weight for myself as a man, where it's typically accepted and okay to be bigger in our society. And so like I get all doubly annoyed when people get mad at someone that was like, that we used to be bigger and got famous, that was bigger and lost weight, as if that wasn't like something that they had been crying at night sometimes about because of all the because the mean comments still exist. Yes, it's beautiful that you were able to be, and I love that they were able to be like iconic. And there's so many people we could talk. There's like hundreds of women you could refer to. It's always women. They never, if a man loses weight, it's never like he betrayed his following by losing weight. 100% always like, good for him.
Right.
Great. But specifically it's women that are always called out, like Lizzo, like lost it, and I don't know if there's anything more to that story or anything, but like she Megan Trainor, when she lost weight, like everyone was like, how, like people got mad, and I'm like,
I think in some cases it could just be what you're like, unwarranted, but then there's the other side where sometimes people will build a career off of, but then it's not that they lose weight, they lose weight and then they become like pretty fat phobic. Like there's a lot,
and that's why I'm using those examples as just people I
those
saw
are
that
two
were bigger,
separate
that
groups.
lost weight.
No,
but I know what you're saying though.
There's a lot of like influencers that, and because I see the other side of that a lot online, which is women being like, what the hell, and they'll start like they start using like fat phobic language as soon as they lose weight, promoting products that you're like, was that what it was?
Yeah.
I just saw, oh my God. And then we'll move on. But there was this girl, she looked like 20, and she's got a 6-pack, and she's eating a carton of ice cream. And like, not that I have the best ice cream eating technique, but I don't feel like this girl eats from the carton very often, because like she's barely getting her spoon and she's flinging. She's probably 90 pounds soaking wet, and she's eating, and she's like, I've eaten a full half tub of this ice cream and it's 10 a.m. and I can eat whatever I want. And you're like, where's this going, girl? Where's this going? And then she holds up these like supplements. She has an 8-pack, the supplement, and then she starts talking, and she's like, it reduces my cravings and how much I eat. And I'm like, wait, girl, didn't you just say you eat whatever you want and you can eat how much you want? And it's just like, there's such a toxic culture online of of losing weight, how you lose weight, and like it's just crazy. And I have seen some influencers who were a little bit bigger and then lose weight and then start to kind of promote
Right.
stuff like that. And that's where you're like, okay, that's probably.
And there was one last thing I'll say too, I want to be clear, I'm not, because I think it's important. It's not about, I understand why someone might feel sad about someone who they felt was a bigger person that looked like them, that was famous and still being like iconic and amazing. I get the sadness because it felt you were seen, right? I understand that. It's the anger at them for like when I, like I said, because of the fact that if you've been in that position, you know the pressure that is there, especially when you have a spotlight put on you, that is there. And so I understand the sadness and even maybe even the betrayal feel aspect of it, but I don't understand the vitriol toward people that are not doing the things we're talking about, but that are just simply existing in a smaller body, right? Like Adele is another one I think that happened to a lot, where I don't think she ever said anything about it. She never mentioned it. And there was so much negative feedback about like, her losing weight. Like, how dare you do that? And I get that it sucks like to not have someone that you connected with and felt like you had this representation there. But it's also like the pressure exists and it hurts. And I try not to judge someone for existing in a different body, either way, whether it's someone that's gained weight or lost weight. I think it's their body, and as long as they're not using that to as a weapon against other people, and pretending like, oh, look how easy it was for me. Well, the reality is, if you're rich, once you reach a certain level of rich, you can hire a personal trainer, you can hire someone to make
Cosmetic
you can
surgery,
get cosmetic surgery, you can afford
lipo.
GLP-1s, right?
Oh
You can afford,
yeah.
all that goes into that. Like it's money can get you into a position, and if you pretend like that didn't have anything to do with it, then that's where I think where a problem comes in.
Yeah.
But anywho, it's a bigger
Tangents.
discussion, a lot of tangents, and I don't want to feel like I'm shaming anyone for feeling feelings, but as a person who has been bigger most of my life, I always it does bug me when people get mad at people for losing weight
Yeah,
when
sure.
the pressure is constantly on you, especially now, like when you have a spotlight or a platform. All right, let's go to number 5. Gossiping,
That's not a
a
hobby.
hobby. This does feel like this is a character written by a man who's never talked to women before.
Yes. Well,
You know?
and like I'm sorry, girls or women, or non-cis men probably.
Mhm.
I just feel like gossiping looks different. I have heard
Mhm.
men talk so much shit. Men love to talk shit just as much as anybody else. They just don't do it in the same way.
Mhm.
Like that's just a little, it just is
Yeah.
framed a little differently. I always think that's interesting because I have some of the hottest tea I've ever heard has
Mhm.
come from men revealing information to me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I love
what?
gossip.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
love sharing it at all. Like, I never want to be the one to say it, but if anybody ever wants to be like, "Hey, can I tell you something?" I will be listening so hard. And I'm the perfect person to tell to because I'll forget it. I could be a sounding board for you, and then the next day be like, "You remember when we were talking about this?" And I'll be like, "I promise I listened." Don't remember who it was. Don't remember where we were. Um,
Yeah, I also think there's like a negativity associated with women telling stories.
mhm,
Like there's so much stuff that's thrown up as gossip, which is usually like women just telling each other like, "Hey, look out
right,
for this guy," or "Did you
right.
know that this guy is dating multiple people?" It's like, stop
Mhm,
gossiping. Stop saying what the men are
mhm.
doing. Stop it. We need to keep
There's
it
some
close.
amazing research out there that I haven't read enough of, but I read some of it that it talks about how gossiping within various communities is a really powerful subversive tool to resist these hierarchical power structures in a ways
Hmm.
that if you don't have the power to say things out loud, how you can still spread resistance and all these kind of different things to, like
Hmm.
you said, but like to warn people about certain men that exist out there. So of course it makes sense why men would hate gossip, because
Don't do that.
it acts as a tool to subvert their power. And even if they're not consciously thinking that way, they do know that gossip could harm them because people could share the horrible shit
Mm-hmm.
that they've done, or if they've cheated on somebody, or if they how they were behind closed doors.
You know what's crazy?
Hmm.
I don't know a ton about it, but I know something about it. There was the T app for women, which women were
Hmm.
sharing like things about men, like possibly to protect themselves.
Hmm.
And then they made the T app for men,
Hmm.
and they had to. I don't know if it's gone forever, but it was at least gone for a little bit because men started sharing uh inappropriate photos of their exes, of their girlfriends. There was a lot of nude
Of course
photos
they
that were
did.
going
Of
around.
course they did.
That's their gossip.
Yeah,
Like,
is
it's
revenge porn. God.
I'm not
I
laughing
didn't
at I'm
I
not
didn't
laughing at
expect
revenge
no, I know.
porn.
I didn't expect that to be like
Yeah,
I don't know. I was like listening, like, oh, what were they sharing? Like ways to like no, it's
they shut it down
of course that's what it was.
because it's like that was what they liked to chat about. Because the other thing is like how many if the app is to like prevent
Hmm.
threats, how many women are active threats in their community at
Hmm.
a grand scale?
Hmm.
So what are men talking about then? If not that,
Yeah.
statistically, it's not as bad in their community as it is with women. So it's like,
Hmm.
what do they talk about? Oh, well, apparently it's nude photos, like sending them to whoever.
Right.
And it was like they had to shut it down. And that's why men
I
can't
just
gossip.
I don't understand like why anybody would think that's okay. Like that's a whole nother we could do a whole once again
Yeah,
another episode on so that's a road we don't necessarily go, but god damn it. Like I'm like every once in a while I'm like so, you say something or I learn something that like
son of a bitch.
God, we're worse. We're worse than I thought. Like that's it's not surprise and that's the problem is it's not surprising. It
Yeah,
just caught me off guard. It's like, of course that's what they're fucking doing. Of course that's what they're God damn it. You ready for number four?
yeah. God,
Astrology.
Matt Rife, did you write this?
I know, right?
Oh, that's so. I cannot get over it. He had that special where he was ripping on girls for astrology, and then he has
Mhm.
like a whole segment on ghosts.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Oh, signs aren't cool. Knowing your rising sign isn't cool,
Yeah.
but you can talk about fucking ghosts because,
Yeah. Or ask them about any of their good luck charms for sports
yeah,
or
right.
about anything. What are your rituals that you do before you play a game, before you
Mm-hmm.
do any sort of thing? Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like I take issue if someone solely does everything in their life based on that. Like I
Mhm.
think it can be harmful if that's the only input you take, like that's the only
Mhm.
feedback you want, and you define your life by that without
Right.
any other factors. But I think mostly it doesn't impact men that much. You know what I mean? Like if someone
Mhm.
was super into astrology, like
Right.
I feel like maybe you wouldn't want to have those conversations with them, but like
Right.
what does
No,
it do to
it's
you?
it's such a weird thing to be so upset about. Which, by the way, for anyone listening, I'm an Aquarius Sun and Moon and Virgo rising.
I don't even know mine. I'm a Pisces.
I only know those things. I'm not into astrology at all, but I love learning about when
It's
people are excited
fascinating.
when someone's excited about something. I'm
Hmm.
like, I get so excited about
Yeah,
it. I'm
I'll
like,
read
and
it.
I've had friends that are really into it, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
same.
tell me more. Can you tell me about me based on and like and it like it might match up, might not. It's not that I believe it. I just think it's fun. It's the same thing when people tell me about anything that they're
Or like
really
human
excited about.
design where you have your
Hmm.
number. That stuff's
Hmm.
fascinating too. I'm all for it. I think
Hmm.
this is just a thing that misogynistic men like to hate on, like, oh, okay, tell me more about how
Well,
the
they hate it because
how
it's
the
mainly
sun does
women that like
something.
it. That's what it is. It's a woman's
Yeah.
thing. That's what they've decided that's a woman's thing, and so they have to hate anything that is mainly associated with women. Not that there aren't men that obviously like it, but it's when you think of astrology, the association is that that is a woman's hobby or a woman's belief system, like for a lot of guys. And so I think, of course, they're going to hate it because anything they associate, and this goes for a lot of things on this list. I hate anything that is normally associated with women.
It's just weird to hate it that much. Like
Yeah. Oh, some guys
I
get so mad about
I think
it.
it's fascinating. I don't live by it. I love to read it if I see it.
Mhm.
I think the compatibility stuff is really fun to see, like which signs are compatible.
Mhm.
But I'm not like, "Stop! Don't you dare talk about that.
Mhm.
Like I don't want to know your horoscope, okay? Like
Mhm.
what
I'll
why
get angry about it when someone starts creating legislation based on
a
my
horoscope?
star, yeah, my rising sign. Like if they end up saying you don't get this right
Mm-hmm.
because you were born during this like during this
Uh-huh.
formation of stars, yeah, then I'm gonna be like, all right, fuck this. But if it's something that you personally, that just it brings you comfort, it helps you feel more connected, it helps you make sense of the world, beautiful. That's wonderful.
I mean, it's bold words coming from manosphere men's.
Yeah,
Like the men who literally live their life, based on fresh and fit and other,
yeah.
like
Who
the
all have
design
their,
of
yeah.
these. It's like,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah. All
Anyways.
right. Next up, we are now in the top three.
Oh my God, I
Wait,
can't
top
wait.
three. We have clubbing.
What year is it?
Find me in the club.
Yeah.
This is always an interesting one. I've always brought it before about like that men cannot fathom also a club being anything more dancing,
Mm-hmm.
being anything more than a place to look for a sexual partner.
100%. That's
They
what they
cannot understand it.
back in the day when I would go clubbing before I was in gay clubs, which is much better.
Right.
Like you just have guys, strangers like bump up on you and dance on you. Like anywhere else that'd be a crime.
Hmm.
It's so weird. So it's like, but it's like that's what they would go there for. They didn't enjoy
Hmm.
dancing. The drinks were ungodly expensive, but like what women and my friends and again, probably just not cis men, but
Hmm.
seem to want to do it is dance. Like maybe meet
Hmm.
a guy, but like really just enjoy the experience. And like you never had that energy coming from the guys. Like they
Hmm.
were never like, "Yay, let's go." It's like let's find some women.
I had yeah, in college I used to be like there was a group of my friends that were women that would take me clubbing with them because I'm a giant. All right,
Bodyguard.
I'm 6'5", and it was literally I would just be whoever they needed me to be their boyfriend, I was their boyfriend. And they were like, "Hey, can we buy you drinks and you can come be our fake boyfriend for the
What
night?"
a
It
dream.
was them, and I would dance, and it was fun. I would be dancing with them,
Yeah,
right?
I
And
love
then
that.
when there was a guy that would like, and it was also like I'm not gonna like it was part they weren't like close friends. They were just people I knew that
Hmm.
knew that I was a safe person that
Sure.
they could like like not this is gonna sound gross, but like they could like pretend to be my girlfriend
Hmm.
and to get a guy away from them and
Sure.
know that I wasn't expecting them to go sleep with them. Right afterwards, like they would grind up on me
Good
or like
God.
flirt with me and
Yeah.
to make sure a guy would leave them alone because the guys wouldn't respect when they said no. They'd
Hmm.
only respect, oh, a guy bigger than me that might actually be able to harm me
Yeah.
is actually that's his property, quote unquote, in their eyes. That's the only way it would always and it would
So
constantly
dark.
work. It's
So
so
dark.
dark, but it worked constantly. And so I was like, oh, cool. I get to go have fun, get some drinks, go dancing, and then and have fun with it. But it's such a sad existence that had to be there. And the only reason I'm so aware of women wanting to go to a club and not wanting to anything else is because I had friends that were women, which is why it's so important to have friends that are not just men also seeking out, you know, partners at the club because I was able to see very specifically behind the scenes them explaining how they wanted me to react, what the signs were, because they
Yeah.
just wanted to dance in a circle with each other. That was all they wanted to do was go out,
It's
have some
true.
drinks, and dance because it was fun.
And I've gone clubbing with a lot of guy friends and it is so much fun. And then yes, you do get hit on more less often when
Right.
you're surrounded by men. But yeah, it's super weird how many and scary how many creepy dudes would just get on that would never
Hmm.
even like speak to you. In any other
Hmm.
context would try and touch on you, dance on you, hit on you. And it's just like you can feel the difference in energy between a guy who wants to dance like or
Hmm.
wants to engage with you and a guy who wants to get on you essentially like
Hmm.
I've had so many times people grab
Right.
your butt hit your butt whatever
Hmm.
like I remember one time I was leaving a club. This was not even this was like a very like nice area too. Like, I mean it was
Hmm.
like it was like I would have been comfortable walking in my car. I wasn't worried or anything.
Hmm.
But I like came down and there was this very creepy drunk man by the bathroom. And it was like when this bathroom door swings open to go into the bathroom. So standing by the men's bathroom holding a drink, and he was like, "Hey, you want to give me a hug?" And I was like, "No, no, strange man who's wasted by the bathroom. No, I don't." And there was a bouncer close by, so I wasn't worried about it. We were still technically inside the building, and he just looks me up and down. He goes, "You're not even worth it," and then immediately takes a step back and falls into the bathroom. And I was like, "Good day, sir."
All right. Karma served, immediate karma served.
Karma. I'm like, and this is why I don't need to be in these locations very often. But it was just like, yeah, it's there's something about the club that gives men that are creepy, like either they're bolder. It emboldens them. It gives them more confidence. I don't know if it's because it's darker. There's more alcohol. And there's dancing, so there's assumed contact, I guess. But yeah, so and then it's always the men who would do that then don't want the women they're with to go there because they're like, I would do it.
Right.
I don't trust you.
Do you know what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's also why you have so many women that do end up going to gay clubs because they feel like that's not. Well, although this is, I'm gonna go on a little tangent here again. Fucking Scott Galloway gave advice with his full chest on this interview he had where he was like, this is why the advice I always tell straight men is to get a gay friend and go to gay clubs. And
is that why they're there?
And he was like, and this is where you can find the most women because
oh my God.
And I was like, oh my, like, what the fuck are you doing?
You like, asshole. That is so inappropriate.
It's so problematic.
To pick up women at a gay club as a straight man to be looking for a straight woman.
To go there specifically for that purpose.
I remember, so number one, that pisses me off. And it is a huge problem in gay clubs. Huge. I mean, I did a full episode on F the Nice Guy. There was a woman, a lesbian at Cubbyhole. Is that what it's called? It's a famous New York bar, and this guy was these these straight guys were there and like started a whole fucking thing, and like they got into a fight, and like because like a straight girl brought like 4 friends, and he was like trying to get with lesbian women, like, and they were being clear that they were gay, just like nightmare fuel, and like there's a huge problem with that, straight men hitting on lesbians or women who don't like men. And like I remember I was at there's a bunch of gay bars in a certain area by me, and I was at one that was like closer to, it gets straighter, which is kind of weird, but like the bars start to get like a little more mixed, and I was at what I thought was a gay bar, and I was dancing, and this guy came out of nowhere and started grinding on me, and I was like, wow, it's like it's like a shock to your system when you think you're in a safe space where like you're not going to have a stranger you don't know force their body onto yours. And like it's so disheartening and upsetting when you feel safe. Like I think I was fully out at that point, so I really was like not about that at all. And like to have men going in there, because like you're going into a space that is deemed for gay women or women who like what, right? There could be maybe some bi people in there, I guess, or you know, across the spectrum somewhere. But the odds that you're going to find a straight woman is way less. The odds are much greater you're going to find a queer woman. And so you're willing to make 90% of women uncomfortable and like literally put yourself on them and force them into a situation, like be the intruder in a safe space, and the odds that maybe you could get a woman.
Right. Like, and there's a difference between and maybe I'm only saying this because it applies to me, but like I had a lot of gay friends who would take me to gay clubs, right? And I would go there specific, and gay men can sometimes be very toxic in this regard too, but I would always very specifically, if a woman came up to me to dance with me, I'd be like, I was like, I'm straight, just so you know. I was because I didn't want them
Yeah.
thinking, oh, they're coming up to dance with a gay man,
Right,
and
sure.
so and like the guys that I was friends with would be like, they'd be like, "She'll just have fun." I'm like, no.
No,
I was always
no.
very much adamant
Yeah.
about like marking myself as like, just so you know, I don't want to cross any boundaries
Right.
here. That if we're gonna dance, but I was going there because my friends were gay, and
Sure.
that was they felt comfortable going there, and I wanted
Sure.
to hang out with
You
them.
weren't a
Uh,
hunter though. You
I
weren't
wasn't going
there.
there as a, and that's the difference. So it just made me it really when the fact that I heard him say that when gay people have been openly talking about like this to stop doing this, stop
Right.
taking over our spaces for as long as I've been an adult,
Yeah.
right? To the point where even when I was in college going with friends, I was like I said walking on eggshells because I was like I don't want it to feel like I'm invading a space where I'm not supposed to be in. I don't want it to
Right.
feel like I'm and like I said, you can I think in general people can tell the difference between someone that's there with their friends versus there to be a predator.
It's again, it's like invading a space that doesn't belong to you and not caring about the people that you're going to negatively impact. Like
Hmm.
a safe space for a group who feels isolated and wants to feel protected, so they have created a safe space for themselves. I'm going to
Hmm.
invade that.
Hmm.
Um, those guys usually aren't the ones who are respectful in said space.
Right.
Those are the ones usually that get handsy, trying to
Hmm.
get on people, drink too much, like are disrespectful. A lot of times, like, you have like drag performances, for example, and like they'll be
Hmm.
disrespectful to the drag queens and stuff like that. It's just,
Right.
it's all about like what your intention in this space is, and like
Hmm.
giving that advice is insane.
Yeah.
Like, go to any club ever, any other
Yeah.
club. Like, why would you go there specifically?
Yeah.
And to
It
say I
is
give that advice to, like,
that
that's
he said it
sick.
specifically. It's not like off the cuff. He was like one piece of advice I give to men all the time. And I'm like,
Ew. All right, let's finish this list.
number two, social media.
What does that mean? What does that
I
mean, Chesko?
this is I think we're getting into like the more toxic aspects of why like it's I think they don't like the fact that once they're together that they have a public presence at all.
Access to the outside
It's
world?
mine. Yeah. I mean like the video we talked about before about the guy do I don't know if we talked about this video in the pre-show or if it was like we actually but the guy that didn't want his wife wearing a thong bikini after it was like no that's you wear that at home even though that's
Yeah.
what you wore
Yes.
when we like that was what you were comfortable wearing that was where you but it's this idea that if they have any sort of presence online
Hmm.
that once they get with you the only reason they had that was because they were wanted to find you
Hmm.
and now if they're interested in social media that means they don't want to be with you anymore.
It's also these dudes are lurkers
Mhm.
on social
Yeah.
media. Like the way that they do social media is not in the same way that a lot of
Yeah.
women do. Like when you look at, like, I would say anybody like besides a straight man really.
Hmm.
But like, they post pictures of themselves. They,
Hmm.
they are if forward facing. They like
Hmm.
to show their life, and a lot of men are online just as much as women,
Hmm.
but they aren't posting like selfies as much, or they aren't actively participating. They're more in the comments section, or they're more
Hmm.
on Reddit. Like, but if you look at, in my experience and from what I've seen, like across the gender spectrum, you see people online relatively like the same to me. Like, but I just don't see the way men participate a little bit differently. And like, damn, they really do not like for women to participate. Like,
Hmm.
they don't want women to put out photos. Like, they don't want women to be seen really. And it's just so bizarre.
Hmm.
And like, again, like a lot of what they get mad at is other men's behavior.
Hmm.
They're like, if a woman just posted a photo of herself, it'd be one thing, but it's men hitting on
Right.
her, and then that's her
Right.
fault.
It's projecting. You're right though, because then though, if you look at who the photos that they were liking,
Yes,
you know,
100%. If women could say to a man, like, okay, I'll get off social media, but I need you to show me the last 100 photos you liked.
he'd be like, "No, you're fine.
You
You
know
can
what?
stay. You know
You
what?
do you, babe.
I was overreacting.
Yeah.
That's fine."
Prove to me you're not on OnlyFans giving money to random women.
I do think that's been the social media. Focus on that for a second. Is there's so many. It's a different. We're all having the same experience in the surface, but behind the scenes it's a different
Right.
experience for everybody. Like I'll see videos talking about like, oh, it's a clear sign of flirting if you like someone's story, and stuff. And I was like, that freaked me out. I was like, I like stories all the
Oh
time.
my God.
What's going on? Wait, you kind of crossed into as a perfect transition to the number one least attractive hobby for women, according to men, is OnlyFans.
I told you.
Hmm.
I told you.
There are, I think it was there's 1.4 million OnlyFans accounts and 170 million active users of OnlyFans. And they are so angry at the people that they are throwing a lot of money towards.
Take my money. I hate
Um,
you.
I also think that number, they always say 1.4 million women. I think it's 1.4 million accounts. And there's a lot of
Creators.
the creators. There's a lot of men
Yeah.
on there. As
Queer
far, at least
people.
I know.
I
have a lot
guess we're
of
talking
friends.
gender.
Yeah,
True,
there are a
but
lot of yeah.
gender queer people, trans
Mhm,
people. There's
mhm.
all across the board.
It's
Creators.
not. I think they assume it because they only
Look
are
at
on
women.
there to consume it. Well, yeah, to consume women, but or content from women.
That's crazy. Because again, it's like, one, I doubt you're with an OnlyFans girl. Like,
Right.
I doubt it. Like,
Right.
there are plenty of OnlyFans creators who have partners.
Mhm,
They both know about it.
mhm,
Like, because it's a career for a lot of people. So you definitely
mhm.
know what your partner's career is. Like, there would be signs, there'd be ring
Right.
lights, you know, whatever.
Right.
But again, it's the gold digger thing where it's like, you don't have any gold, don't be worried about who's digging it. You're
Right.
not with an OnlyFans girl.
Right.
Why do you care about OnlyFans women?
They're all it's openly. I would never ever date one, but if one of the women they were subscribed to
Oh my
were
God,
to
we're at their
message them
house.
and genuinely be like, "Hey, I like your profile." I don't know how it works. I don't know
either, actually.
yeah, I like your profile picture on. I don't know if you have your own thing as a thing. Do you want to go on a date? They'd be like,
Yes.
"Yes."
Yeah.
In a second they would be, because it's this whole, I hate it knowing that I will never have the opportunity to date.
That's exactly it. I hate that I don't have access to it.
Hmm.
So much of it is that. Like, I hate from outside the club, you know, because the truth is,
Right.
you're not getting in,
Right.
you know?
I would never go to a club like that. I'd never want to sit at a table and have bottle service at a club.
I don't even
Gross.
care. I
I
don't
don't
even
even care about
care.
that. I don't even care about that.
I don't even like women. I'm gonna go game, but
Uh,
not with women. And
no.
that's it. You know what? You know what? Now that I'm thinking of it, Chesko, men get really upset when women are better at gaming with them. So maybe they've had a couple bad experiences, like I mentioned, where they're
Mhm.
gaming and a girl, and they're like, "Oh, girls who game, I hate it. I hate when women emasculate me when I'm playing Halo." Like,
Right.
I don't know if that's popular anymore. I'm trying like, what's a boy game? Like, I think that's it. It's like, it's just like this fictional thing. Like, it's so imaginary. Like, the things that well, now it's imaginary, I guess, for me too, to be fair. But
Mhm.
when I dated men, the things that I didn't like were tangible, practical things I had experienced and did
Mhm.
not like, right? That impacted me negatively.
Hmm.
But half the time with these guys that are like this,
Mhm.
like misogynistic men, it's like made up shit that they've never experienced, will never experience.
I heard one of these guys saying like, it feels like, it was a group of guys talking, of course.
Great.
It was like, it feels like every single girl has an OnlyFans nowadays. I was like, well, when you're only hitting on OnlyFans models,
Literally in the app or on the
literally in
platform.
yeah, like that, it was like, man, all these OnlyFans models I'm hitting on OnlyFans
Or on
they
OnlyFans.
all have OnlyFans. It's very weird. I don't get it.
I don't know that many people that are on. I know a lot of well, I guess they
Yeah.
could have privately and not tell me, but
But yeah, but even you're right
not
though.
that many.
There are, I would say, probably percentage wise, there's more content creators that are OnlyFans models than the general population.
Sure.
And even then, I only know a few. Like there's not. It's
And good
most
for
of-
them. We love
Yeah,
that
no,
for them.
great. I have a friend who's making amazing money to the point where I was like, is there an audience?
Their market.
Like when it's a guy too, when he told me the amount of money that he makes, it's I don't want to say their name. I don't know how open they are about it on online.
Fair.
But I was like it is absurd.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. Anywho, but
Anywho.
the point is, it's also, I think, stupid that calling this it's a job. It's like, I don't know, do people do OnlyFans as a side hobby for fun? I guess maybe some people might,
No.
but that's not what they're referring to. They're referring to people that do it for
Yeah.
money, which is, yeah, it's such a,
Can
I
I
guess this
tell
goes, go
can I
ahead.
tell you something funny?
Yeah.
I too was once like, what could I do? And then
Hmm.
this is me not understanding people,
Hmm.
especially like certain people. And I
Hmm.
was like, I was like, ooh, I could do like ASMR because I
Hmm.
had heard there's ASMR people on
Uh-huh.
OnlyFans. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, I told my wife, I was like, that would be, is that, because I'm always trying, I love a hustle. I was
Yeah.
like, this is right when it was getting really popular. I was like, ooh, maybe I could do that. And she just like looked at me and she was like, you do understand that it's sexual, right? That like the ASMR is like them saying sexy things. And I was like, no,
Oh,
it's not.
it wouldn't
No,
just
it's
be
not.
me playing with like slime or
That's what I thought it was. I was like, no. And like, I have trouble saying any sexual words. Like,
um
there's exceptions,
yeah.
but like in a conversation. So that is the least
Hmm.
me thing. And I like listened to one like online because I was like, I don't think that's a thing. And I was like, oh my God. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
okay, I guess that's out.
I couldn't believe what was being whispered to me online. But that was one of the most eye-opening of like, I don't think it's a space for me. I don't
Mm.
think I'm
But that
meant to
was
be there.
the conversation I was having with this person. Like, 'cause I'm gonna keep this
Yeah.
more was the and it was shocking to me because it was a guy. I assumed men must make way less
Oh,
online. Apparently,
I don't know
apparently
that
not.
that's true.
I know that's it was not true, at least in this instance. And so I was like, 'cause the conversation was how much would it take? And I was like, it would have to be an absurd amount. Like, what do you make? And I was like,
Go
that's the
on.
number.
I'm dropping my
'Cause
drawers. Let's
I
go.
couldn't do it. Like I am, yeah, I'm not a prudish person. But I think the fact that I don't want to ever leave my job teaching is what I think where that barrier for
Well,
me.
people do get busted. There was a
Yeah.
teacher I think that got had like an I can't remember had something an OnlyFans. It's like she when she wasn't working or something. It was like
Yeah.
something weird like the pandemic during the pandemic,
Mm.
the
Pandemic. Mm.
pandemic, the that damn pandemic. Uh,
Pandemic.
but like and
Um,
then they took her job like later and she didn't even post
mm,
crazy stuff. It was and I was like, fuck. So yeah, you
yeah.
have to be careful with those.
But if you're making good enough money, good for you. I respect the hustle.
I
That's
don't have the ability, but I respect the
yeah,
hustle.
I absolutely I wish I had the because I do have other friends that do it and they just don't give a fuck. They're like, whatever. It's like I make a lot of money.
My friend did it for a while and she was
Mhm.
so smart. She's like a boss business lady. I don't have that
Mhm.
either. I don't have that skill.
Yeah.
But she was so smart. I don't know how it totally works, but like she would
Hmm.
like message something and
Hmm.
then it would be like you have to pay $3 to get the next part of the message or to like have the
Hmm.
better and so she would just rope these dudes in. She'd be like, oh, I can't wait to show you my and they'd be like, bleep, you have to
Uh-huh.
pay $3 and they'd be like and just like
Done. Take
crazy
it.
shit. But I think I told you this before,
Hmm.
but she ended up stopping because of weird shit. Like
Hmm.
she started getting like friends of hers that had girlfriends,
Hmm.
like people she knew from work, like
Right.
really weird where she could see who they were. So
Right.
yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, those were the top 10 least attractive hobbies for women according to men.
I think it's according to misogyny, to be clear.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because some of those are so like
Yeah.
social media is a hobby. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well,
Uh,
well, friends, thank you so much for listening to
mhm.
today's episode. As you know, we have a Patreon. Make sure to check that out. That helps keep this podcast going.
If you stuck around this week, we did a lot of trauma dumping this week on on there's old school Patreon pre-show.
Oops.
Yep.
So check that out. Make sure to check out our social media and because that's our favorite hobbies.
Yeah, it's our favorite hobby.
It's our favorite hobby.
Second favorite hobby.
What's our first favorite hobby?
No, I meant on the list. It was
Oh,
I came off.
I was like, wait, where are
Sorry.
we? Is our first
Podcasting
thing-
is our favorite hobby.
OnlyFans. I thought you-
But I mean podcasting.
OnlyFans. What? Not me.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Love you.
I can't stand you.
I got some good advice for you.